linear expressions. Factoring is something you will do now into Algebra 2. This is the main part of algebra, factoring. So my first question to you is, do you remember distributive property? Okay, so what would distributive property, if I had to do the distributive property, what is something that would look like? What would a problem look like as you do distributive property? Owen?
A number and
Something like this? Remember that?
yeah.
Okay, so now how would you solve this? Like if I asked you to use distributive property, what would the answer totally look like, Mason?
You would do 3 times 2,
Okay.
3 times 1.
Okay, so it really looked like this. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you one. I want you to try it. See if you can remember. Okay, so if you had used distributive property, what would that look like for an answer? What would it look like? Anybody? Anyone going to try it? Mason?
Negative 8b.
Just 8b. 8b minus 16. That's what it would look like. Okay. So how is this going to look today? Well, they're going to give us this, and we have to go backwards to this. So all of our answers today are going to be in the format of what distributive property looks like at the beginning. Okay. So we know how to do the distributive property. Now we're going to go backwards. They're going to give us this, and we have to go back. So all of our answers are going to be in something like this. That's how all of our answers are going to look like today. Okay, so we're just kind of going backwards. That's all we're doing. So how is this going to look? First of all, they're going to give you a problem that looks like this. Okay, they're going to be like 3x plus 9. Now the first thing you need to do is you need to find the GCF. Okay, so we got to find the GCF of this and this. So you might need to make the tree. You might do it. You might be able to do it in your head. You might have to make the tree. So let's pretend we can't do it in our head. We're going to make the tree. Okay, so we're going to do 3x, and we're going to do 9. All right, so, oh, shoot. So let's say 3x, it will look like this. 2 times 1 times x. 9 will look like this. 2 times 3. A shared group of 3, so I know my GCF is 3. Remember, you don't multiply them together. You just say, okay, if it's one group, it's 1, 3. So here's my GCF is 3. Then the next thing you do is you're going to set it up in your template. Now, what do I mean by template? Well, if you remember distributive property, there was a number, 2 parentheses, and then numbers inside. So what I would do is I would start setting something up like this. Okay? The sign that's in the problem is always the sign inside of the parentheses. All right, what do we do with this? Now, this is where the GCF goes. So if our GCF is 3, that's where we're going to put it. So how do you think I can figure out what goes inside here? What do you think I need to do? Think so many things. Okay, not quite. How can I figure out what goes inside? Well, if you know that you have to take this times this to get this, what you really could do is you can take 3 divided by 3 is 1, and then take 9 divided by 3 is 3. This would be your answer. Just saying, okay, 3 divided by 3 is 1, 9 divided by 3 is 2. Because you should be able to do multiply by each other, and then should give you that. Yeah.
So you take greatest, so you find the greatest common factor and then you
Yep. Okay. Yes.
What happens if there's more than one
Thing here?
Yeah.
Well, remember then you do, okay, I have a group of 3s and a group of 2s. Well, 3 times 2 is 6. 6 is my GCF. Remember, that's what we did. Yes, that's what we did on Thursday. Remember, we had shared, we multiplied them together. Do you remember doing that? That's what you're going to do today, too. Let's try another example. Okay, here's another example. So first, it's 4x minus 28. First thing you have to do, find the GCF. So if you need to, make the tree. If you need to do it, make the tree. If you need an example on your notebook, this would be a good one. Don't just sit there and try to do it in your head, because then you're gonna get down the road and say, I don't even know what we did. So get something in your notebook. This is an example of what you were just asking me about, Landon. Okay, so I know they share groups of twos. 2, 2. So GCF would be 4. Yeah. Now, some people say, well, there's a 4 in the problem. The GCF is always going to be in the problem. That's not true. The GCF is not always going to be in the problem. It just has been the last 2. It was 3, 4, now it's 4. It's not always going to be like that. Then you're going to start setting up your template. Okay, let's see, it's going to be a subtraction sign in there. This is where my GCF goes. You remember what it was? 4. Yep. Okay, so how do I find my middle numbers again? How do I find my middle numbers again? I'm going to divide. You bet. 4 divided by 4 is 1x. 28 divided by 4 is 7. This is all I'm looking for an answer today.
That's all you want.
That's all I want. Yeah. You just factored it. You're done.
That's simple if you really.
So GCF first, then you set it up in your template and you figure out what goes where. Okay? Want to try it on yourself? Anybody still need this yet? Landon?
Can you go back to the first?
Sure. This one right here?
Oh.
Right, what's that called where you put the answer? You call it a template.
A template, like, you know, a template is just like you plug in things.
Alright.
Good? You good? Okay, you try this one yourself. 12x and 18. You might have to make the trees. But you have to have the greatest common factor on the outside or it's not the correct answer, and I'll show you why. Oh, no. And you just go off those. That was 4, and 2 and 2. And these are your. Use your own control now. Anybody need another few seconds yet? That's fine, you can take a few seconds. Okay, turn 9. I didn't want to call. They gotta show something else. No, no. We forgot 2 and 6. You understand why? 2, 6, 2, 2, 3, 6. Forgot it was 2. find GCF. What did you find for the GCF? What do you think it is? 6. It's not 3. It's not 2. It's 6. So 6 has got to go on the outside. And Nolan, what do you have on the inside?
2 plus 3.
Yep, don't forget your X's. Don't forget your X. Now, some of you are like, well, I can do this in my head. I don't need to make a tree. Well, I guarantee if somebody did this in your head, you would have got 6 as the GCF. You would have said 3. Let's say you said 3 as the GCF. Anybody say that in here? Let's say you said 3 as the GCF. Why do you think this cannot be an answer? Why do you think this cannot be an answer? Mason?
Because
Why do you think this cannot be an answer? When we factor something, we want as small as possible. What do you think?
3 is the greatest.
It's not. Does this? What does this share? Or if they still share something, what do they share? 2. If these two numbers in here share something yet, you do not have it in factor form. Factor form means it's factored all the way down to the smallest possible way it can. Okay. If they share 2 yet, they're not factored. Like they have to be as small as they possibly can. Does that make sense to you guys? So like this, another thing you could have for the answer, you could have this. 6x, let's see, 9. The 6 and 9 will share something yet. They share 3. That would not be an answer either. You have to have the GCF here. If you don't, it's going to be wrong. You have to have the GCF. Do you want another one by yourself? Let's do one more by yourself. Let's do 8x plus 27. Like I said, some of you might be able to do it in your head, some of you probably will not be able to. You know you. Did I share anything?
No.
Did I share anything? Are you looking? That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You're probably running into a problem.
they don't.
They don't share anything, do they? 8, only thing in your, that's like what? 2s? 27 would be 3 and 3 30. Okay. So what do they share? What's the only thing they would share then? No. One. Don't do anything to share. If the only thing they share is 1, they don't share any other factor, it's not possible.
8 divided
So no pairs equals not possible. Yes, that would be your answer. That would be your answer. Because let's say you would factor and you say, okay, 1, so let's factor with 1. Well, guess what? It's the same thing. So that's why it's not possible. It's already in its factor form. You can't go any farther. Okay? Yeah.
So then how did it get there then? Like,
They're just telling you to factor it. If they don't share, then it's not, then you can't. I mean, sometimes in math, there are times where you don't have the answer. And you'll see that more in 8th grade. Like, there's times in 8th grade where we'll do so many problems, we'll do all the work, and it's possible you don't even have the answer. Yeah, you'll see that. Yeah. So, that's one of these times it's not possible. Okay, so you just write no pairs, not possible, can't do it, whatever. Okay? All right, ready to try another one by yourself?
Is there anything like that?
Yes, that's what I'm showing you. Let's do this one. Let's do 6x plus 20. David? No, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
What's this?
It is. What do they share, Bella?
Share two.
You're right. And when you get Bella?
I got 3x plus 10.
Yeah, you're right. This one is possible because they share that group of twos. All right, how are we doing? Questions? Okay. Do this one by yourself. There's some in your homework that have two variables. That's okay. Just make sure they're included in your parentheses. Question. Okay. Lucy's in Florida now. I appreciate it. It is possible. It can be done. It can be done. 3 is not prime.
Just look at it for a second.
If I would initially glance at the 2, I would say not possible. Just because 33 is a weird number.
Well, if you look at 3 and 33.
I know. Don't yell at me, I know. I'm in problem, man. Now, some of these you can do in your head, that's fine. Some of them, you might need to make the tree because you might not know the GCF. Who knows? All right, Layton's dying to tell us. At least he's not jumping down in the GCF. Okay, so what's your GCF?
3.
3. It's gotta be 3, because if you think about it, like, the only thing goes with 3 is 3. 3 and 11?
Add 3. No, 1x plus 11.
And then you include your y also there.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Include your y too, because even though, like, this has to be x, it still has to be y, because if I would multiply, it's still gonna be the same as well. There's a few that are like that, you're going to have more than one variable, just like this. It's not anything different than this. All right, so far so good? All right, so 2 more things and I'm done. They might give you a problem that looks like this. So what it is just a problem in a picture format. That's it. So they're going to say factor this. So this is what you do, very simple. If they give you a box like this, what you're going to do is you're just going to take and you're going to add them together. Now it does not matter what order you go in. I just like to put my variable first. Anytime you have a box, it's a plus sign, because it's like you're saying, I'm going to take this side of my garden plus this side of my garden, and I'm going to add my whole garden together. That's basically what it is. Okay, so you're just putting them all together, and then they want you to factor that. So 15 and 18, what do they share? Anybody know off the top of their head? 3 is easy. Yep. So 3, 5x plus 6. All they're going to do is there's 4 of these in your homework. There's 4. Where they give you a box, you rewrite it, and then factor it out. Another thing they do, I'm just going to quick show you this, so I don't have to talk about it. They're going to give you a box split into 3. Maybe it looks like this. And they're going to say this is 3x, and this is 6, and this is 12. And they're going to say factor. Well, put together what you can put together. Is there anything in here you can put together right away?
Yeah.
You're what?
There's 6 and 6.
Okay, so put your 6 and your 12 together. 18 plus 3x, then factor it out. So if there's 2 spots you can put together, put them together, then factor them. Okay? And all of your story problems are going to have some kind of factor in them, or expression in there, factor them out. That's all it wants you to do. If it gives you this expression 9x plus 30 represents how much you spend at the theater, factor 9x plus 30, all you do is factor, just what we did. Find the GCF, set it up how it looks like distributed property. That's all. And that is my lesson for today. Okay, do you have any questions? Like I said before, if they only share, if they don't share anything, just write down possible. Yep.
So, will it always say that?
You fish get thirsty.
Oh, jeez.
Landon, don't turn into me.